Namaste friends. Mantrapushpam is a very famous Vedic hymn which is chanted at the end of most Vedic rituals, most poojas in Sanatana Dharma. If you go by its literal meaning, the importance or the significance accorded to it does not really make sense. I will explain the deeper meaning of it, which is consistent with the spirit of Veda, unlike the literal meaning, and you will also understand why it is such an integral part of pujas. First, let me chant it a little bit, the template, and then we will go into the literal meaning and then the deeper meaning. There is an initial portion, and then this is the template, which is repeated multiple times with multiple entities. Let me just chant it. Om Yopam Pushpam Veda Pushpavan Prajavan Pasuman Bhavati Chandramava Apam Pushpam Pushpavan Prajavan Pasuman Bhavati Ya Evam Veda Yopa Mayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati. Now the template. The first one. Agnirva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yogneraayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati apova agneraayatanam ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda yopamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. And then Agni is replaced with Vayu, then Asavai Tapan, and so on. So let me give the literal meaning. If you take the literal meaning, Agnirva Apam Ayatanam. Fire is the residence. Ayatanam is residence or source. Apam means of waters. Ayatanavan Bhavati means one becomes sourceful. Yo Yah Agnehe Ayatanam Veda. One who knows the residence of fire, he becomes well established. So let me put it up in this page. So it is basically the each verse means something along these lines, with X replaced with several things. X is the source of water. One who knows this becomes established in oneself. Water is the source of X. You are reversing it now. Water is the source of X. One who knows this becomes established in oneself. One who knows the source of water becomes established in oneself. And then this is repeated with X being fire first, then wind, then burning sun, then moon, then stars, nakshatrani, then Parjanya, which is basically Indra, the ruler of the gods, and then Samvatsara, year. So what is the real meaning of all this? Why is it so important? What is the significance of this? And how does it really tie with the spirit of Veda? So let us take a step back here and let us realize one thing. The word apas has been interpreted as water, but in Veda and Vedic literature, some words are used in other meanings. For example, go and ashva, which literally mean cow and horse, are actually used in many Vedic hymns in the sense of gyanendriyas, through which you perceive the world, and karmendriyas, through which you act in the world. Similarly, the word apas is used in the sense of water. Just as water flows from a big mountain, actions flow from consciousness. If you visualize consciousness as a tall mountain, actions are flowing from it. Actions are flowing from movement in the consciousness. They are being done by the consciousness. There are many Vedic hymns that will become clearer if you use apas to mean not water but to mean action. For example, there is a Veda mantra of Angaraka that says Apang Retangsi Janvati. People interpreted that as Apang Retangsi Janvati literally means in waters, semen or vigor provokes or invokes. So people interpreted it as he provokes semen in water, which does not really. People try to make some sense of it, but the real meaning is he invokes vigor in actions. Just as I said earlier in another video that sun, moon, Mars, etc. stand for various aspects of our consciousness. Sun is the Atma, moon is the mind, Mars is the fire in the belly, the vigor, the energy, initiative to do things. So that is why Mars, Angaraka Graha, he fills our actions with vigor. So apang retang jinvati, that is what it means. So anyway, there are lot of verses in Vedas which will become clearer if you use the meaning of actions for the word apas. So as I explained in the next page, let us use the meaning apas is action, and apas, we have apaha and apaha in the verses. Apaha is inspired action, action of the divine, action of the supreme being. Now all these verses will basically mean this: X is the source of action, not waters. X is the source of action. One who knows this becomes established in self. Divine action of the supreme is the source of X. Who's the source of action? One who knows this becomes established in self. One who knows the source of actions becomes established in self. And X is now replaced with fire, wind, burning sun, moon, stars, Parjanya and air. So what this really is saying is, okay, actually what is the meaning of these entities? Let us look at these entities now. Fire, wind and sun, Agni, Vayu and Surya. Those who do Homa or Havan know that at the end of the ritual, we have this Uttarangam where we make some standard offerings to important Vedic devatas, and there we say Om Bhusvaha Agnaya Edam Namama, Om Bhusvaha Vayava Edam Namama, Om Subhasvaha Surya Edam Namama. So Agni, Vayu and Surya are the controllers of the Bhuloka, Bhavarloka, Savarloka, of the physical realm, mental realm and the spiritual realm, the astral realm. Because in the physical realm, fire is the transformer. He enables various materials to appear from space. So physical realm is controlled by fire, and the mental realm, mind is just movement in consciousness creates various thoughts. So mind is basically represented by movement. So movement, transformation, movement is Vayu. And finally, in the spiritual realm, it's about everything is there. It's just a matter of shining light on it and becoming aware of it. So that is why Surya, sun, the shiner of the light. So transformer, mover and the shiner, they control the physical realm, mental realm and the spiritual realm. So anything we do in the physical plane, in the mental plane and the spiritual plane is really, they are doing it. Physically, if I think that I'm speaking or I'm moving my hand, I think that Narasimha Rao is doing it, but it's really Agni who is a Devata in the space. He is manifesting within me as there are different forms of Agni. One form of Agni is synthesizing these thoughts in my mind, and another form of Agni is translating those thoughts into these words, and another form of Agni is moving the muscles through the nerve currents, moving the muscles to produce this sound. So like that, Agni is doing everything that we think we are doing. We think we are doing, but Agni is the one who's doing. Similarly, any thoughts that I am thinking within my mind, it is Vayu who's doing. I'm not doing. And Surya is doing anything that is happening at the Adhyatma, at the spiritual level. And then we have mind itself, which has the manas, which is having various perceptions, various memories, etc. So that is represented by moon. And stars, nakshatras, they represent destiny. So they represent the karmic momentum that you are carrying within you. So depending on, even though sarvam khalvidam brahma, everything is self manifesting in different containers has different karmic momentum, and based on that karmic momentum, different actions will be performed and different experiences will be beget. So that is controlled by stars, by destiny of that vessel of self. So that is represented by nakshatras. So whatever destiny we are accumulating, it is basically the doing of nakshatras, not us. And then Parjanya is Indra. He basically stands for the Indriyas. So whatever we are sensing, Gnanendriyas and Karmendriyas, whatever we are sensing and whatever we are, our Karmendriyas are doing to the people around us, things around us, is represented by Indra. And finally, here our Samvatsara is basically a symbol for time itself. Because there is a movement in time, there is a concept called time, Mahakala, and time is moving. Because of that, various experiences and actions are possible. If time doesn't exist, none of this will exist. So some certain things that we think we are doing, actually time is doing. So bottom line is, we think that we are doing so many things and we are proud of doing great things, or we are ashamed of doing bad things, etc. But the thing is, really, we are not doing anything. It is the divine action of the Supreme Being. He is creating Agni, Vayu, Surya, Chandrama, Nakshatras, Indra, and various gods, and then Samvatsara, Kala itself. He is creating all these, and then they are creating various actions within us, within each vessel of self. So they are the real do. At one level, Agni, Vayu, Surya, etc. are the real doers, but at a higher level, because they are the works of Supreme Being, Paramapurusha, it is basically the everything is Ishvara or Paramapurusha's doing. So that is basically the meaning of this. So in other words, this is really the essence of Veda. It is basically saying you think that you do things, you experience things, but it is really the Supreme through various divine beings that he or she or it created, that the Supreme Being, the Paramapurusha or Ishvara, is experiencing things through this medium called Narasimha Rao, or you, or your wife, your husband, etc. So that is why this is really consistent with the spirit of Veda. This is the essence of Veda. This is the essence of self-knowledge. So that is why after doing any ritual, instead of being proud that I did this great ritual, this 4-hour long puja or 3-hour long havan, you basically say that all actions are of these divine agents and who are really representations of the Supreme Being. So it's all Krishna or Ishvara doing, Paramapurusha or Bhagavan doing, not me. So to instill that sense, we chant this at the end of any Vedic ritual. So I hope that it made some sense to you. And this is, by the way, this is not the only thing. There are so many Vedic hymns that if you take literally, they don't really mean anything significant or anything important. But if you take the real meaning, the deeper meaning, they are the essence of knowledge. So Veda is about self-knowledge, and anything associated with Veda is throwing light on some aspect of self-realization, and particularly Mantrapushpam is the essence. So that is why this is a very important chant, and I hope you benefit from this. So this is very nice to chant. So if you are comfortable with chanting with swaras, do chant this. But my 2 cents are, my humble suggestion is, more than chanting, understanding the meaning, and more than understanding the meaning, imbibing it in your thoughts, in your actions, in your very existence, is the best thing that you can do for yourself. Thank you very much. Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Yavad Bhumandale Sanatana Dharmo Vardhatu. Visheshatah Bhartakhande America Varshe Tibet Rashtre Cha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.